Welcome to the first episode of this brand new Tycoon series where I show you how you can build your very own Tycoon in Minecraft. In this episode I want to show you how you can build conveyor belts and droppers. Firstly I'm going to show you how you can build the conveyor belts. I have 3 levels here. The first level is just magenta glazed terracotta. And the conveyor belt works, but it's not very pretty. So the next level is the terracotta covered with another layer of blocks. And before I show you level 3, I'm gonna show you how level 1 and 2 work. The level 1 conveyor belt just looks for blocks right below the player, and if that block is magenta glazed terracotta facing a certain direction, it teleports the player in that direction. The level 2 conveyor belt works almost exactly like that, but it tests for the block 2 blocks below the player. Now that you've seen level 1 and 2, I'm gonna show you level 3. And level 3 is just like level 1 and 2, but it has 2 different speeds. And as you've probably guessed, it has something to do with the coal and iron blocks. The speed 1 conveyor belts test if there's a coal block below the magenta glazed terracotta blocks, and if there is, it teleports the player, and the speed 2 conveyor belts test if there's an iron block there. And as you can see, it doesn't only work for players, it also works for items. So how do the droppers work? It's actually not that hard, but it uses a new mechanic called macros. First we're gonna need a spawn egg for a marker, which will be the dropper ahead. I used a gas spawn egg and gave it the name level 1 dropper, and it spawns a marker with the tags dropper and level 1, and the data drops 1 and level 1. The drops refers to the value of the item which it drops, and the level is just the level of the dropper. Now that we have the marker spawn egg, we're gonna place it here, but before we do that I'm gonna show you some code. First we're gonna go into the load function of your data pack and write these 3 lines of code which add 3 scoreboards, and then we're gonna add this line of code which adds a storage which can be accessed by a macro. Then we're gonna go into the loop or tick function, and then we're gonna write the command execute as at e type item nbt item components Minecraft custom data has score 0, which just looks for dropper items that don't have a score and stores the item value of the item in the item value score. The next command also looks for items with the score has score 0b, but the items also have to have a score in the item value scoreboard. And if they do, the command will change has score 0b to has score 1b. This line is just there to kill the items if they reach the green pad, and these 6 lines are there to control the markers. This line is here to set the block the marker is at to a polished blackstone button on the ceiling. This line saves the value of the items being dropped to a score, and this line saves the value to the macro. This line says the dropper score in the scoreboard has dropped to 0 if the button on the dropper is not pressed, and if the score of the dropper in the scoreboard has dropped matches 1. This command is responsible for dropping the item, and this command is responsible for changing the score of the dropper in the scoreboard has dropped to 1 if the button on the dropper is pressed. Going back to this command, we're gonna look at the function being executed by it, and the command summons an item with the custom name visible and a pickup delay of 32,776, which means that the pickup delay won't decrease, and in turn you won't be able to pick up the item. The item will also have the tag dropped, and the custom name will be bold and dark green, and the text will be a $sign, and then this here means that it's gonna take the value from the macro we're using and it's gonna be underlined. The item will be 1 iron block with the custom data has score, and then it will have money, which will just be the value of the macro. And if we then put all of it together, we can place the marker and it will place the button, and then we can press the button and it will drop the item. And as you can see, the name of the item is $sign and then 1, but if we change the drops value of the marker, we can change the value of the items being dropped. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and maybe even subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys again in the next episode.